Previously on CRL. To kick off the round one of the playoffs, Grant and Brendan faced off, and Grant was able to win 3-2 against Brendan Monahan. Brendan went up 2-1, but Grant was able to rally back in the last two matchups and finish off Brendan, and Grant will now be going to the next round of playoffs. Melissa was able to score the first point of her matchup against Peyton. Peyton took another point tying it up, but then Melissa ran away with it and won with an upset over Peyton, a 3-1 victory over the divisional rival, and will go on to face Ashlyn, which is the number 1 seed. Parker went up 2-0 against Micah in Micah's first playoff appearance, and while things were looking grim, Mike was able to rally back a full comeback with a 3-2 victory over Parker and sending Parker back home despite his impressive 11-2 record, and will now be facing the 13-1 Connor. Will Micah be able to pull off this upset? Who knows? And lastly, after barely making the playoffs by just one win, Ben Roth was able to go up against his divisional rival, Tomzio, and they went back and forth up until Tomzio was finally able to take it and get a win, a 3-2 victory over Ben Roth, and will now go on to face his divisional rival, Landon, for a second divisional matchup in this playoffs here. So let's take a look. Here is a look at our playoff bracket. Those will be all of our matchups, and that's what we're going to be going through today. So stay tuned. Round 2 starts now. And welcome to CRL 5. We have the playoffs round 2 for you guys today. This should be pretty exciting. So, as you saw, round 1 was pretty good, and we have 4 more matchups this week, and then we'll go down to 2, and then we'll have the finals. So, only 2 more weeks after this until we determine who the champion is. We're going to start off with the number 1 seed Connor versus the number 5 seed Micah. This is the Southern Conference semis. So, Porto is going to kick it off against Magnum. So, Connor is in lane 2. Micah is in lane 4, as Connor is the number 1 seed. So, Connor had a bye last week, so he didn't have to play. Porto versus Magnum, and Magnum knocks Porto right out of there. That's going to be a point for Micah. Magnum denies Porto entry there, so 1-0 for Micah. Both these teams have been very impressive this season, obviously. Micah's team actually looked more impressive on paper. Spike versus Sahara here, and it's going to go to Sahara. Micah is up 2-0 against the number 1 seed. Connor has went 13-1 this season, and only one loss, and that was to Drew, who currently isn't in the playoffs. Mechanic versus Mock here, and Micah is going to take it. Micah's going to sweep the number 1 seed. That is crazy. The number 5 seed upsets the number 1 seed 3-0, and Micah is headed to the Southern Conference Championship. I mean, that was quick. I mean, that is crazy. I did not expect Connor to go down that quickly. I mean, hey. Next up is the number 1 seed versus the number 6 seed, Ashlyn versus Melissa. Now, this is the Northern Conference semis over here. So, Blanco versus Clockwork here. Ashlyn's in lane 2. Melissa is in lane 4. So Melissa was able to upset Peyton, the number 3 seed. And Clockwork is going to score the first point here. I mean, despite Blanco's fall there, I think Clockwork would have been able to beat him anyways. Compact versus Poltergeist. I believe we've seen this before with a Grant versus Luke matchup in previous seasons. Compact is almost there, just falls off. Didn't really matter. Falls before, but Poltergeist had it in the bag anyways. So 2-0 Melissa so far. The lower seeds are figuring it out. I mean, these number 1 seeds coming off their bye, they're a little rusty. Velociraptor versus Pinstripe. And another upset. The number 6 seed upsets the number 1 seed. Melissa is headed to the Northern Conference Championship to play whoever we see in this Landon versus Tomzio divisional matchup. Another sweep by the lower seed. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. I did not expect that. Number 5 and the number 6 seed are headed to the conference championship. Now we have the number 2 versus the number 3 seed, Luke versus Grant in another Southern Conference semi here. So Mr. Spice versus Neon. These two teams faced off against each other in week 1 of the CRL 5 season was actually the first race that they had. Luke sweeped Grant, but Grant is already switching the script with a win from Neon. So, I mean, either way, this will be one of these teams' first week and their last week of CRL. And whether that be Luke or Grant, we're going to find out soon. But Grant is up 1-0 in this matchup. Emu versus Bubble. And Bubble's going to figure it out. He almost gets knocked out there. That's going to be enough to count as a point for Bubble, as he is ahead of Emu and is still technically on the track. It is 2-0 Grant. And could we see a third consecutive sweep resulting in an upset this round? Aries versus Nickel. Nickel wants it. Will he stay on the track? And he does. Denies Aries. And Grant is headed to the Southern Conference Championship to face off against Micah and another team. So 3 out of the 4 teams that have gotten a bye have lost in this first round that they've played. And oh my gosh, Grant is going to play against Micah, and he has a chance to make the finals now. And all right, so one last matchup here. Landon versus Tomzio, the number 2 seed versus the number 5 seed. If Tomzio wins this might be the craziest set of conference championships ever. I mean, we'll have the number 6 versus the number 5 and the number 3 versus the number 5. That would be crazy. Scoville versus Falcon, and Scoville does not let Falcon through. It is 1-0 Landon. Obviously, these teams have faced each other twice before in squad skirmish and in Week 13, where Landon came out victorious, took the division for himself, and earned himself this bye. Shark versus Luke Jr. Luke Jr. has the lead, and Luke Jr. just falls off the track there. Speaking of that, I don't know if you guys saw during the Luke matchup, one of his cars fell there. I'm honestly pretty sure that's what resulted in the loss there, that Emu falling there against Bubble, because Emu beat Bubble last time, but I don't know. All right, so Cocoa Puffs versus Ace here, and Ace is going to knock Cocoa Puffs out, and it is now 2-1, still Landon, but Tomzio is starting to rally back here. So Induction versus Pterodactyl. Let's see what happens here. They're off. Pterodactyl has the lead and knocks Induction out. So now it's 2-2. Tomzio's brought it back, and so season on the line here for these 2 divisional rivals. I mean, this has been a great rivalry that's just started this season. Both these teams are great. Mustang versus Turtle. Turtle has the lead, but Mustang flips Turtle over his back and sends him flying. Can we get a replay on that? I mean, there you have it. Turtle gets in first. He doesn't get flipped over his back, but Mustang knocks him out, and that is going to be the win for Landon. So Landon gets a 3-1 victory, survives the upset, and only 3 out of 4 upsets. I know I'm saying only, but that is crazy. I mean, look at our playoff bracket now. Things just got turned on its head, and this season has gotten even crazier. So, take a look at things here. We have our Southern Conference Championship. We're going to see Grant versus Micah, the number 3 seed versus the number 5 seed. And then even crazier is the it's not that much crazier, but the Northern Conference playoffs. We're going to be seeing the number 2 seed versus the number 6 seed, which I think was pretty similar last year. I think Grant was the number 2 seed going into last season. I think it was Grant. So, I mean, this is pretty similar to what we saw last season. Number 6 seed did win that, but then lost in the playoffs to the might have been the number 4 and the number 3. Whatever Ben Roth was last season. So, things just got even crazier. This episode was insane. I did not expect any of these upsets at all. I mean, obviously there's going to be room for some upsets, but 3 out of the 4 matchups. I mean, Micah upsetting Connor. I mean, Connor went 13-1 just to lose it all in one fell sweep to Micah. I mean, that's what, people were saying. I mean, just because you won 13 games doesn't mean you're going to beat a team that you haven't played yet. I mean, that's just the way that schedule works. I mean, you'll play teams that you haven't played yet, and they might catch you off guard. So, I mean, then we saw Grant upset Luke, which is interesting because none of the matchups changed, but Grant was able to upset Luke this time around of doing a reverse sweep since last season. You got sweeped by Luke, or not last season, but, the same playoff thing. It was pretty cool to watch. Did not expect Melissa to upset Ashlyn as well, but, I mean, like mother, like son, Melissa is being the underdog, and she could go all the way, but, I mean, either way, I think we're set for a great finals matchup. There's going to be no repeat champions this season. I think that was true since last week as well. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and have a great night. Stay tuned until next week. We'll have our finals matchup ready after next week. So Stay tuned to that. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night. See ya.